Alright, hello everybody, my name is Dalton Rutlinger, and welcome back to Sailwind. This is episode 31, if I recall correctly. In the previous episode, we came back to Fort Astron, and we bought the biggest boat in the game, the Brig, which is kind of a controversial thing. Some people hate it, some people love it. We're going to see how she tests out. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and rigged up the ship a little bit off screen. I didn't have quite as many options as I would have liked to have had. The rudder, for example, I would have loved to have a bigger rudder like you can get on the Sandbuck. But just wasn't to be, I guess. I'm going to move the microphone closer to me. One thing I did, though, is I did remove all of the walls and the cargo racks inside here, so we have a much bigger cargo rack or cargo storage area than we had previously. And, yeah, I've got the clock down here on top of the ceiling, because over here, I bought a bed because I figured, you know what, I've had enough of hammocks. I want to have, my own actual bed. And this is going to be where I store all of my food and water and stuff like that. Then I've got my rum out here on the balcony thing, stern balcony. I don't really know what you would call that thing in ship language, but up here I've got my firewood, my fishing hooks, my stove. I've got a table. I have a table with all of my navigational stuff. I have a chair, which I can't sit in for some reason or another, which is unfortunate. And originally the helm is down here. I believe the helm is like right here whenever you first get the ship. But I had it moved up to here just for better visibility, if nothing else. And in today's video, we're going to take the Brig out for a maiden voyage. And we're going to hope that she performs all right. I've only ever bought the Brig once, and I only did one journey with her. So this is her chance to show herself, or to prove herself to me. I've got plenty of lanterns, so you guys can see what's going on at night. Let's go ahead and turn on all these things. There we go. I've got all my maps up here on the ceiling. I also bought the Astron region style clock, as well as the chrono compass, just to get rid of a few more coins, if nothing else, because I have so much money. I'm getting to the point now I don't really know what to do with all the money that I'm getting. Which is kind of where the game, unfortunately, kind of loses its interest for me. Because it's kind of like the Elder Scrolls games in some way. Whenever you gain so much money, it just becomes to a point where, like, why would your character do anything beyond that point? Like, you eventually get so much money that money just becomes completely irrelevant to you. And that's kind of where I'm getting now. Admittedly, I can still burn through all of this cash in a pretty quick fashion, but in games as well as in real life, I'm pretty cautious with how I spend my money. I try and put back as much as I can into my savings, like every single paycheck. Typically, it only goes to about 100 to 150 bucks, but every now and then I'm able to put like 150 to $200 into my savings per paycheck. So yeah. I'm going to wait for the storm to pass, and then we will set off once the weather clears up, and we can actually see what the heck we're doing. Oh, and you know what? While it's on my mind, I want to point out that the channel has passed 220 subscribers. I think we're only like 4 subscribers away from 230, so thank you all so much. This channel has really been blowing up here lately. Sailwind has unexpectedly become the game that's been growing the channel here lately, so my loyalty is pretty much with Sailwind these days, and I really hope the developer, I need to actually start supporting him on Patreon, because this is like the one game that I actually really enjoy to sit down and play anymore. Like, Stormworks is okay, but uh, I don't know. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's really Let's Play material to me, to be honest. Well, that's not true, because, I mean, it would be fun to actually, do a series, but here lately I've been having so much trouble with the game. Whenever I actually try and build something, it just doesn't really want to work. um, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and load up a few more things. Sausages. I was hoping for some more pork, but that's apparently not going to happen. Wow, this weather is not letting up at all. I just slept through the entire night, and it's still raining. Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to set off in the rain. I was hoping for a clear day to actually set sail, but I guess it's not going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and top up my resources real quick. My hunger and thirst, and etc. And you know what? Just because we haven't done missions in a long time, I think I'm going to go ahead and take some missions, honestly. I need to start building up the reputation after all. I'm going to eat the cheese. There we go. Completely full. That's another storm over there. Alright, so missions. Honestly, going to Eastwind probably wouldn't be the worst idea, honestly. Although going to Mount Malefic... Eastwind pays the most, so... Although... Eastwind also has a very tight port. Whereas Mount Malefic, you just kind of dock along the island. Screw it. We've only been to Eastwind a couple of times in the Let's Play, so let's just go ahead and do this. And maybe I'll take some trade stuff too, just to, make the journey a bit more worthwhile. Alright, so what do we have here? So, salmon to Eastwind could be doable. Cheese, no. Water, possible. Beer, no. Wine, no. Northfish, no. Sausages, no. Pork, nope. Trout, nope. Gems, definitely no. Iron, definitely no. Grain, medicine. Okay, so seafood is definitely something that they want. Keep that in mind. Wait, isn't Eastwind like a mining place? You'd think they'd want tools. Tobacco. Ooh. Okay, so brown tobacco. This is what's annoying about this, is you can only carry one box at a time. So let me go ahead and do all this stuff off screen, and I'll see you guys back in a second. Alright, I would say that is definitely a haul. I've got the tobacco all the way back towards the rear. I've got seafood towards the middle. And I've got salmon in these big boxes, and we're transporting water as well. I think I got everything that's going to Eastwind that I can actually take. That's actually bringing in a profit. I'll just take a moment to double check. You know, surprisingly, beer isn't going to a mining town. That's kind of funny to me, honestly. Can understand books. Nope, that's literally everything. That is everything that's going to Eastwind that I can make a profit with. So, let's go ahead and get underway, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the wheel. Which direction is the wind blowing? And not very favorable for us, but could be a lot worse, I suppose. Let's just get this thing out into the water. If we can. This thing does not want to turn. And pretty soon the ground is going to be tickling the belly of the ship here. You know what? Let's just go ahead and lower that. We'll get some propulsion to get us going in the right direction. I'll just go ahead and loosen it completely, to be honest. Honestly, I think get out of my way, fishing pole. No, that's angling that thing. Let's see. That is for the sails. There we go. Gaff sail. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the biggest boat in the game. Kind of curious what that goes to, honestly. And this thing turns slower than a freaking train. I think one thing that would probably help, though, is it wasn't that. It's not at all what I was wanting. It's gonna take me a moment to figure out which thing controls which. Okay, there we go. That controls that. Which means you probably control... Yep, there we go. So, you control that, which means you control the outer one, you control the inner one. All right. And we are cruising right on along, ladies and gentlemen. Need to get a good screenshot, honestly. About there, maybe. Alright, so I don't think I'm really going to cut anything out in this video, aside from, you know, the loading and unloading of the ship. We'll just keep the sailing in, pretty much the entire video. No cuts unless I'm sleeping or, you know, unloading the ship or whatever. The sailing will stay in the entire video. Unless I mess up and I do something I don't want to have seen on camera. I think I can still get some propulsion. Oh, that's controlling the entire... That's not what I was expecting to be controlled at all. Okay. So, you probably control... Yeah, there we go. And let's turn this on. We'll turn that on. Now you guys can see what's going on on the entire ship. Hopefully, anyway. I know YouTube loves to make videos a lot darker than they actually are, but I'm doing my best. Oh, that's the wrong. There we go. Right. All sails are unfolded. And there we go. We should be catching pretty much as much wind as we possibly can now. Yeah, so the thing about the Brig is it's kind of a mixed bag, really. The Brig has the most carrying capacity. You can put more on the Brig than any other ship in the game. But the Brig is not really meant for speed. It's meant more for, you know, hauling stuff. So, in a race, I believe this ship would pretty much come in dead last. as far as, you know, the larger ships come in. The Sandbuck, the way I have it configured, could probably compete with the Junk for being the fastest ship, but I don't think this one's going to be winning any marathons anytime soon. But I guess you never really know, do you? How we doing? Is there a way I can actually... That's grabbing the chair. Can I actually sit on the chairs? Or are they just, like, for show and nothing else? Well, I'll tell you what I can do is I can come up here. We'll throw this thing down overboard. We'll see how fast we're going. We're maintaining between 8 and 9 knots, so... I mean, she's not the slowest thing in the world. Could be worse. I guess I'll go ahead and eat some cheese. Now, remember earlier on in the LP, whenever I was actually struggling for food? I think it was a live stream I was doing. Oh man, that was just an absolutely miserable time. For those who don't know, I think it's actually in this playlist for my Sailwind videos. I believe I was sailing from Mount Malefic to Fort Astron, and I literally ran out of food. I had to try and catch multiple fish as I was on my way, and I didn't have a stove or anything, so I had to eat all the fish raw, which wasn't really doing that much. So I had to fight hunger, thirst, and fatigue pretty much all at once, while also fighting a very unfavorable wind. It was just an absolute nightmare for me. If I were to go back and watch that video, I would probably just be like face palming the entire time, but I mean, it's... If you start off perfect at everything, you know, what's the point in doing anything? If you can't learn anything, what's the point in even trying? And that was pretty much a learning experience for me. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'll see you guys whenever we finally wake up. You know, here's like an actual idea I just thought up. What if, like, the more comfortable bed that you have actually allows you to sleep a lot faster, because you would actually be getting a much better rest, honestly. To me, it makes sense. Alright, so... I think we're still heading in vaguely the right direction. I'm gonna get this to where it's not so hostilely, like, pointing, like right along with the wind. Because that was gonna capsize if nothing else will. I'm having trouble speaking today, honestly. Tell you what would be nice to have right about now would be the spyglass. Oop. Okay, on second thought, let's check the Northern Star for our location. I want to say that's it. That is definitely not it. The problem with all these sails is you can't really see anything. Well, this is annoying. Fine, I'll just do it by compass. Alright, so I think we're heading too far north. We'll turn a bit more to the west. I'm just going to go ahead and raise up these sails too, because they're not going to be catching hardly any wind, so just go and put everything back into its neutral position. At least the sails go up pretty quickly on this thing. Let's see, that is the top sail? Yeah. And you're going to be the mainsail here. And there we go. Let's bring you in a little bit more. We'll bring you back into the neutral position as well. I don't like the filter that comes with the glass. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not, or see that on the video, but see how clear the video is here? And whenever I bring up the spyglass, it has this, I guess, filter. I don't really know what else to call it, but it's kind of annoying. I wish it didn't do that. And there is our destination over there. Great. What I might do, actually, is I might just anchor somewhere off the island. I think this thing actually needs like a smaller lifeboat. You can actually put stuff in and row it to the islands, because this thing, it's very hard to actually dock at ports and stuff. And with the way the wind is now... Yeah, I'm pressing every key on my keyboard, and I cannot sit on this chair. I guess I can just kind of simulate it by, like, pressing crouch on it. this thing is going to be so fun to take out onto the open ocean. Although the question is, where should we sail to next? I might actually do a poll on that. At some point or another, Kronos is going to get brought up into the recommendations too, or at least brought up into the job markets and stuff. That'll be an interesting one to do. Alright, so this is where the gaffs come in really, really handy, because you can be almost be sailing just straight up wind with these things. Almost, but not quite. I think I need to raise this one up a little bit, though. Although the chair is kind of what's putting it right in my face. Let's put the chair... I might actually just sell the chairs, honestly, because if you can't sit in them, what's the point? I mean, yeah, I can make the deck look, you know, all nice and lavish. I can turn this into, like, an actual, you know, dining room kind of thing. Put the chair, like, there, then put, like, 3 or... like, put 2 here, 2 along the edges, then another 2, like 6 chairs in total, I guess. Another thing that would actually be kind of fun to do would be having passengers as, like, actual cargo you could take. I don't know how you would do... Actually, you know, if you could do it something kind of similar to Stormworks. Because in Stormworks, you can literally just pick people up and just place them in the chair that you want them to sit in. We are sailing, basically... I like how the island's, like, right there, but you can't really see it in third person. Strange. I think the dock is between... Is it between that island and that island, or is it between that island and that island? This is where coming into islands at nighttime is kind of handy. Oh, I see what you do. And so you control the angle of the gaff sail there. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so there's the town. Problem is, the wind is blowing directly from the town. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this direction. Actually, do I want to do that? Yeah, I think I'd be better off... I could sail past the island. Yeah, I think the better option would actually be to just sail around past the island and come back and then dock. Because I think it's too late for me to make that turn now. But look at the size of the ship compared to the town. The ship is basically the size of the town. Oh man, that is going to be a really, really, really tight squeeze, though. Because I have to sail through that. In this thing. I don't suppose you guys have any towboats over there, do you? How's the cargo doing? Cargo's still exactly the way I put it. Hasn't shifted around or anything. I'm gonna get us a little bit further away from the island, just so we don't run aground in the shallows or something. Alright, so I need to go far enough out where I can actually make this turn while facing into the wind. Then I need to go far enough out again to where I can actually make that turn into port. So I'm going to have to go out quite a ways here. How are the missions doing? Oh, we're good. They're doing 3 days. So I think we're good for time. Let's eat some more cheese, I guess. I think I've got plenty of food on board here. These two things are cheese, these two are pork. These other two are cheese, then this is more pork. I think, well, see, normally I would cut this out, but it's been a long time since I've actually had a video where I showed the entire journey. Maybe one of these days I need to actually, like, upload, like, an entire, like, 6-hour long video that shows the entire journey from one archipelago to another. Problem is, not only is that gonna take literally forever to upload, and I don't know if I even have enough storage on my computer for that. The problem is I can't just. I'd have to put music over the entire thing. I wouldn't be able to talk through it at all whatsoever, because number one, my voice would just be completely done the next day. And then, typically, the thing that really helps me out is I have a second monitor over to my left that I use to watch YouTube videos and stuff. while I'm actually, doing the long journeys. And that helps out tremendously because I can just kind of sit here and watch my YouTube or do some other stuff on my second monitor while the game is playing over here on my primary monitor. It really helps out a lot, let me tell you. I think this is far enough out. Let's go ahead and bring these two in. Oh, I really hope you had the momentum to make this turn. Come on, old girl, you can do it. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Maybe just barely, but I think, yeah, we should be catching wind again. Let's go ahead and kind of continue out like this. Then we'll make that sharp turn into the port. You really got to plan your entrances and exits a lot more thoroughly with this thing. The sandbuck used to be really bad, but the developer put that extra large rudder on it, which really helped out a lot. Still has some trouble making those really tight turns, but I mean, it's a big ship. It's not going to turn on a dime. Might turn us just a little bit further to the east. Just try and catch a little bit more wind. Honestly, it might not be a bad idea to just kind of start angling the ship to make it through that, between those two islands. That is going to be tight as hell. Then I have the fun job of unloading all the crap below. But I won't make you guys sit through and watch me do that. How much money do we have right now? I think I started off with almost 17 grand. So I blew through almost 10 grand just loading up the ship with just random cargo and stuff. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost tempted to just drop anchor here. And do this again whenever I'm fully rested. Honestly, that might not be the worst idea in the world. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop anchor out here, because I do not want to fall asleep whenever I'm this close to the island. Raise up all this stuff. Hey, for like the first time ever on this Let's Play, we're gonna drop the anchor. And here it is. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. Right, well, it's going to be nighttime whenever we dock this thing, but I think we should be well lit enough. Looks like we have actually drifted a bit to the north. Wow, that's a lot faster than it used to be. That's crazy. Let's see here. How's the wind doing? Now, honestly, I might be able to just sail into port with these guys. It'll be slow and a little bit tedious, but it'll be just 2 sails I have to raise up whenever we're coming in. And the speed will be a lot easier to manage too. So, I'm not gonna lie, that main mast is really kind of in an annoying position right there. Visibility on this thing is basically just non-existent. First person, it's almost impossible to see where the heck I'm going. In real life, I don't think they would have actually tried to dock at night. But also in real life, you wouldn't have just one person manning a ship this size. You'd have like 16 people on a boat this size. If not more. You know what? I'm trying to go into the wrong... Am I? No? That's the town over there, isn't it? No, I am trying to go into the wrong thing. I'm trying to go through there. I'm glad I spotted that. I was about to make a colossal error right there. Yeah, that would have been bad. Huh. I almost turned this into the SS Atlantic. That would have been bad. Would have been very bad. Okay, Can I make that turn? I don't know if I can make that turn, honestly. Oh, geez, we're already up to 51 minutes? Good lord. It's almost 8:30 too. Still got an hour and a half before I have to go to bed, but still, it's gonna take a while to unload all this stuff. Right. Yeah, I can probably make this turn. That's pretty generous amount of space, honestly. If I start turning now, honestly. Did we ever come to Eastwind in an actual video, or did I just come here on the live streams? I honestly don't remember. I know Eastwind was the island that I first tried to sail to, but then I got lost in the storm. Like the second video or whatever it was. Okay, let's go ahead and start raising up. Yeah, let's raise up the front one because it's the biggest. Therefore, it's going to catch the most wind. Right, I think we have enough momentum now. We can just raise this one up as well. This thing isn't going to stop in a hurry. I kind of wonder what this looks like from the dock, honestly. Yep, it's a big O ship coming into port. Alright, let's get this thing straightened out. Start kind of angling away from the docks. Attach you to there. then we can attach you to down here. Alright. Now comes the fun part for me to unload all this stuff, so I'll see you guys back in a moment. Oh, right, and just a reminder on what my current money is, it's 7,700. Thank you. Right, so I finally figured out how you actually throw things. You hold down T to give yourself more power, and then you just launch it. So that's what I've been doing to just unload this stupid ship. Yeah. And whoop whoop. It's going to be a complete disorganized mess, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, that might matter, though. I need to remember I actually did that. See if I can actually make one into the door. Woo! No. I wonder how far you can actually throw one of these. Let's hold down the T button for a little bit, and then let go. Okay, so about that far. Just want to make sure you couldn't actually, launch them from halfway across the map or something. Well, here's the last box. All this disorganized mess over here. Alright, so I have 1 black tobacco, then I have 9 brown tobaccos, then I have seafood. Then I have some water. Then there was salmon? Yeah. Was that everything? Looks like that was everything. Alright, so my money is now up to 19 grand. We started the journey with just a little over 17. So I made a two grand profit, give or take. I've had worse hulls, admittedly. What's our reputation like, by the way? I should probably check that out. Astron, it is 18,000. I have more of a reputation in Emerald Archipelago, though, to be honest, I did do a lot of missions, like, off-screen. I did do, like, 2 or 3 journeys from Aulonk to the Emerald Archipelago that just had missions on them. And then I just, like, brought some trade goods back to Aulonk, so that makes sense. But man, 60,000 for the next reputation increase? That's just nuts. I think next time we go to another archipelago, we're just going to stock up on missions as much as we possibly can. And we'll just do a bunch of missions, honestly. Speaking of which... Okay, so there's nothing that leaves from here. Gotcha. You know, honestly, that's pretty decent money right there, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't do missions like this on the COG. Huh. How about trade? Cheese... That brings in a profit at Happy Bay, but that's not a profit really worth bringing in. Beer... Again, Happy Bay, but not really worth doing. North Fish... Okay, that's to Happy Bay again. Okay, how about iron? Ah, here we go. Now we're talking. So... Iron to Fort Aestrin pays the most. But then, yeah, pretty much every place is taking in iron for a pretty decent price. What about copper? Copper is also a very good thing to bring in. Okay. Gems? Gems! Oh, wow. $3,000 for gems at Happy Bay. That could be worth doing, honestly. Because Happy Bay is still technically within the Aestrin region. I'm not going to do it today, obviously, but... maybe... Maybe not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that we'll do another open ocean journey to Happy Bay or something, because... I lost my way to Happy Bay the first time whenever I tried going to the Dragon Cliffs, and I've been meaning to go back, but I just haven't gotten around to it. For those wondering, let me show you where Happy Bay actually is. There's a mission for it. No. Happy Bay is... down there at latitude 35, longitude 4. So it's roughly halfway between Aestrin and the Dragon Cliffs. I do kind of wish there was another island, like, somewhere north of Oasis. Maybe there's like a really, really, really tiny one, but no one has really bothered to go there because... why would you? I don't know. I feel like that's just wasted space over there. You could have one like right next, like on longitude -4, latitude 40. You could have that. You could have like a random island just out there. It might not be anything. It could just be like a troll island that's just out there. It's charted, but nothing's there. I think the developer really needs to... The Steam Workshop would be absolutely necessary for a game like this, I think. Because games like, let's say Ravenfield, for example. Ravenfield wouldn't have really been nearly as big if it wasn't for the Steam Workshop. And I think a lot of games actually have that in their favor too. Like in Skyrim, for example. On console, Skyrim really wasn't that great, at least in my opinion anyway. I played it originally on the Xbox 360 back when it first came out. Then I got it on PC, and I hardly ever played it at all on the Xbox. Like, I always played Oblivion on the Xbox versus Skyrim because I just thought Oblivion was a much more stable game. But on the PC, on the PC, Skyrim is hands down the better game because it has a Steam Workshop. You can just add in mods just with a click of a button. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was the maiden voyage of the Brig, which, yeah, I still don't really know how I feel about her. I think she's a beautiful ship, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the ship in terms of just aesthetics, but in terms of handling, she leaves a lot to be desired. But We're not done with her, not by a long shot. We will definitely be taking her out on an open ocean journey at some point in the future. So, hope you guys are looking forward to that. But until next episode, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.